Hey YouTube, hey, it's Rob again. I'm working on the never-ending project of putting this 3.7 liter Ford V6 in a Mazda RX-7 FB. Um, this is me, if you want to know what I look like. You don't want to look at that too long. Anyway, so I got pretty much all the wires all hooked up to the ECU. I'm trying to run a Haltech ECU to control this 4-cam V6, which also has variable valve timing on all 4 cams, and is also drive-by-wire. And so it takes a lot of wiring, and I'm pretty sick of wiring at this point. But anyway, I got them all hooked up and was ready to load my initial program onto the ECU and start seeing whether I can see all the timing wheels on the engine and so forth. And what do you know, the very first step, which is just hooking the PC to the ECU, I couldn't get that to happen, and I had to send the ECU back. And so now I sent it to Kentucky, and the guys in Kentucky couldn't figure out what's wrong with it, and so they had to send it on to Australia. And I said, well, what could I have done? And one of the things that he said was that, well, if you wire the signal of a sensor to the to ground via the shielding of a wire, that could do it. So after figuring out that I was reading the pinout diagram backwards, I found out that eventually that I do have a wire that is shorted to ground. And so that's really bad news for me, because I think that means that I'm going to have to pay for the repair. So once again, this is not something I ever found in all my searches of, for the right way to wire up the ECU and not blow it up. They even have a video called 6 Ways to Blow Up Your ECU. I watched that, and it wasn't included on that. So once again, I have a reason to create a video, and so here it is. And I wired up my brake switch to the ECU because they recommend it when you have a drive-by-wire setup. I won't get into the details of why and so forth. But anyway, I stripped this wire. I don't think I even realized it was a shielded wire, and hooked it up to this wire here, which is going to the brake, basically the brake switch. And that guy is shorted because this copper color here is the shielding. So hopefully that makes sense to you. There's shielding wire that's insulated from the core wire on this particular wire. Maybe 10 out of all the, I don't know how many, hundreds of wires on the for the ECU wiring harness. Maybe about 10 of them are shielded. Turns out this one that I use for the brake switch is shielded, and I didn't notice that this particular one was shielded, and I think I soldered it in, and that is possibly what blew up my ECU. Too bad for me. Anyway, I don't want this to happen to anyone else. So be careful on your shielded wires when you are wiring up all your sensors and switches and so forth. Not much else to say. Have a great day.